As part of the continuing efforts of the Department for Institutional Capacity and Performance Improvement, DILG Region 5, in coordination with the Local Government Academy, conducted series of trainings on Systems on Competency Assessment for Local Governments, or SCALOG, application as a tool in the formulation of local capacity development agenda through strengthening of the local governments in the Philippines project, funded by Spanish government through the Agencia Española Cooperación Internacional para el Desarrollo, or AECID. The training is one of the interventions identified by the DILG-5 to strengthen the capacity of LGU key players and the DILG field officers on the use and application of the SCALOG and harmonizing capacity development interventions for LGUs in compliance to DILG MC number 2007-71 regarding harmonizing development and implementation of training programs for local government units. The activity aimed towards the formulation of the LGU capacity development Capdev agenda, using the SCALOG to identify the organization's competency strengths that must be sustained and weaknesses that need to be addressed through capacity building efforts. The project primarily focuses on improving the organizational competency of the local government units. A total of 55 LGUs formulated their capacity development agenda, 8 from the province of Albay, 5 from Camarines Norte, 17 from Camarines Sur, 8 from Catanduanes, 10 from Masbate, and 7 LGUs from the province of Sorsogon. The regional summary of the Capdev agenda focused on the need for capability development interventions identified by the LGUs on the following Capdev trends: trainings, technical assistance, and other forms of assistance across the 5 performance areas, namely governance, administration, social services, economic development, and environmental management. Specifically, the major training interventions identified by most of the LGUs focused on the areas of administration, social services, governance, economic development, and environmental management. On administration, trainings on business permit and licensing system, personnel management information system, and the formulation and updating of the comprehensive development plan, comprehensive land use plan, and human resource management and development were identified as priority training needs for the LGUs. On social services, training on community-based monitoring system, and on governance, the training on Sangguniang information system were also identified. On economic development, skills training for various cottage industry workers, and updates on agri-fishery technology. And on environmental management, training for solid waste management plan formulation and conservation of the environment were likewise identified. For technical assistance, the interventions needed by the LGUs were along the areas of governance, administration, social services, economic development, and environmental management, while the priority technical assistance identified were on the updating and codification of the ordinances and plan formulation as well as on project monitoring and evaluation. On other forms of assistance which the LGUs identified as needing interventions covering environmental management, administration, economic development, governance, and social services, the priority needs were focused on the creation of offices and designation of personnel. Also included were the conduct of information education campaign and replication of good practices. To address the capability building needs of the LGUs, the following training activities were conducted in partnership with various stakeholders: CBMS, SIS, CDP, GoFar. Community-based monitoring system is a reliable tool that provides relevant and comprehensive data on the poverty situation of a local government unit. It answers the who, the where, and the whys of poverty. In the Bicol region, CBMS was implemented in 2005, starting out with 6 pilot LGUs. At present, there are now 80 LGUs implementing CBMS. 18 of these LGUs are being funded by the AECID under the Strengthening of the Local Governments in the Philippines project, SLGP of the Local Government Academy LGA, 22 by the World Bank ASEM, and 3 municipalities by the United Nations Populations Fund Assistance. The rest are being implemented either through LGU's own initiative or in partnership with the department. To address the concern on the lack of effective and efficient legislative tracking system, an installation and hands-on training on Sangguniang Information System was conducted in July to August 2009 for the Sangguniang staff of 20 SLGP partners. Other LGUs have implemented the project through their own initiative in collaboration with the DILG. SIS is designed to enhance the Sanggunian for them to effectively perform their duties through the adoption of information technology and effective planning through legislation. The DILG formulated a CDP guide in aid of the planning process of LGUs and provided guidelines for the organization of sectoral committees. Through the SLGP, the DILG was able to undertake on-site sectoral planning process in CDP with the participation of civil society organizations CCOS from July 2009 to August 2009. The GoFar program in Region 5 underwent various phases, building the capacities of model LGUs and the conduct of inception workshop, where the municipalities of Bulan and Irosin in the province of Sorsogon and Albay province were capacitated. The department gave citations for 2 model LGUs. On ecological solid waste management, the Bulaneño Ako Basura Ko Sinesegregate Ko of Bulan, Sorsogon and APS EMO of the province of Albay. Replication of best practices where the Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office or APS EMO was replicated by 5 provinces, namely Catanduanes, Camarines Sur, Pampanga, Sorsogon, and Sarangani. The Basura Atras Linamon Abante sa Kalanbuan or BALAC program of Linamon Lanao del Norte was replicated by the municipalities of San Andres and Virac of Catanduanes and Bulan, Sorsogon. The following best practices were documented and validated. Oo para sa kaakian, Kasiguran, Sorsogon. Upland Agriculture Zone, Ligao City. Establishment of Lying-in Clinic in Barangay Salvacion, Palanas, Masbate. Establishment of VAWC Center, Dimasalang, Masbate. Establishment of Lying-in Center, Placer. Monitoring and evaluation of said activities were likewise conducted for all the stakeholders to determine that all components and capability initiatives were effectively and efficiently implemented and gaps were properly addressed. Organizational strengths and weaknesses were identified for possible capability building interventions by the department and other stakeholders. In summary, a well-prepared Capdev agenda can pave the way for building better communities through the development and implementation of capacity-building initiatives responsive to the LGU's competency requirements, thus resulting to an effective and efficient budget allocation and utilization. With a new set of local officials and in partnership with other stakeholders, DILG-5 is looking forward to a more fruitful and meaningful years of working together in building better communities in the Bicol region for a better Philippines.